After an 8-year mission, French troops are leaving their key base in Timbuktu, marking a turning point in their Mali mission. More than 8 years ago, when French troops liberated Timbuktu from jihadist control, they were welcomed on the streets of the historic Malian city. Opposition to French military presence has been growing in recent years, with rising insecurity and increased jihadist attacks fueling anti-French sentiments in the former colony of France. The lack of enthusiasm may be linked to continuing conflict across the vast nation of 19 million people. Jihadist attacks have grown more frequent since 2013, and the conflict has spilled over into neighboring Burkina Faso and Niger. Now that French troops are leaving their base in Timbuktu, questions are being raised about the future of jihadist activity in the countryside. French President Emmanuel Macron announced a major drawdown of French troops in June after a military takeover in Mali in August 2020 that ousted the elected president Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. France's military deployment in the Sahel is due to decrease to about 3,000 troops by next year. And to discuss this end of mission is a senior researcher for the Sahel Programme in the Institute of Security Studies. He joins me from Mali. Good to have you join us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's look at the current situation. Several reasons have been touted for the decision made by France. Some people think, as we have read in our intro, that perhaps it is because of the growing lack of, or the growing, what a lot of people call being dissatisfied with the military presence in the Sahel. But others think that this is France making good of its threats to withdraw troops as a result of the coup in Mali. What's your thought on this?
Yes, of course, people are just thinking that this reconfiguration of French troops will increase the insecurity situation in the Sahel. But my opinion is much more nuanced. This reconfiguration doesn't necessarily mean a degradation, an immediate degradation of the security. There are a number of reasons of this. Action, I can say, is the French troops contributed, yes, of course, to prevent greater jihadist attack. But at the same time, they are in the region since 2015, and the situation is continuing to deteriorate. And secondly, contrary to the current popular opinion, French troops are not totally leaving the Malian territory. It is not a total withdrawal, but a reconfiguration that implies a number of reducing the troops from 5,000 to 3,000 numbers. And they are also hand over some camps to the Malian army, namely the base camp of Tessalit, Kidal, and also Timbuktu. So the cooperation is still ongoing. But I can say finally, I will say that this situation, in my opinion, could be a good news because finally Mali, or I can say will be at the front line of the military fight against terrorism since nine years. This is a great opportunity for the Malian authority and the military troops, Malian troops, to assume their sovereignty responsibility, and they should have a better knowledge. They have a better knowledge of the context than the French troops, but this means that there is a great responsibility in terms of good governance inside the security apparatus, and also a challenge to respect civilian rights during this military operation.
While you say this is good news, residents in Mali are sort of scared that the situation in Mali might start to look like the situation in Afghanistan. They fear that this might become, Mali might just become another Afghanistan. Mali is currently battling jihadist insurgents, not just in Mali, but along the Sahel. What does this mean for the security in Mali, this reduction of troops?
Oh, this reduction of troops, as I said, could not straightly link to a global deterioration of the of the situation. Yes, of course, the international troops were a key point in the channel of the dispositive of security. I think the serious problem of this response to jihadists in the West Africa and also in the Sahel is that it is only military focus. This problem is not only a military solution. It is a broad problem which implies political aspect and also development aspects. Focusing on military response is the base of the failure of the action since we have seen since 2015. And even if you increase the numbers of troops, there should be, if there are French international troops or local troops, we should reinforce the other aspect, political and also development. And to finish, we must point out also our national armies are weak. When they don't have enough logistical, all the country, the regional body like ECOWAS and also AU are claiming that they want to have more troops, they want to push, but they are not at the first line. They have not given enough financial means, logistical means to help all the troops to have a good fight about this situation in the military side. So military action should be efficient, but also development and political action should be lead together jointly to have a performance.
We'll see how this plays out in the long run. Thank you so much for talking to us, Senior Researcher for the Sahel Programme, Institute of Security Studies, Fahiraman Rodrigue Kone. Thank you.